David Arnold Meierhoff. I was a engineman for third class, E4. 2 full 9-month Westpac cruises, and then 1 short cruise over to Da Nang. But we'd leave and we'd go over. We spent 90 days in 1965 anchored out from Da Nang, Vietnam, and they were building Camp Tinshaw, an army base, but it wasn't built. Well, they had all the armored personnel and the Seabees and the construction people, military, someplace to house them. Well, they lived on our ship. And I was the engineer of a mic boat, and what we sort of were a taxi service. Every hour on the hour, we would run in workers, other military personnel was building Camp Tinshaw. So for 24 hours a day, we ran 12-hour shifts. You manned the boat at midnight and get off at noon. We'd shuttle back and forth, supporting, bringing people in, and then we went to Chu Lai, which they were building. They landed the Marines there, and there was no conflict, but they were building an air base there, the Naval Air Base at Chu Lai. And so we ended up hauling a lot of supplies, construction supplies in with our boats and landing them, and the Seabees would come out and unload and take it in. We did that, and then we also was a hotel ship off Da Nang for another 90 days in 1967. And then during the summer of '66, we hauled a group of Army engineers over to Da Nang. So the total time in Da Nang, either on the boots on the ground or anchored out, was about 7 months. And at one point in time, in '65, the ship had to go back to Subic Bay, Langapal, Philippines, to replenish. And so it left, well, my coxswain and myself were left at Da Nang, and there was a lot of merchant ships offloading food and supplies for the Camp Tinshaw. And so we spent 30 days just attached from the ship, just me and my coxswain, offloading merchant marine ships. And we were eating the sea rats, and every once in a while the merchant marine sailors would invite you up to take a shower and maybe go to their chow hall. Mm-hmm. So that was probably the best experience I ever had, and most enjoyable, being on the mic boat, not associated. Ship came back in 30 days, and we grouped back up with the ship. So, I mean, we could see the firefight and the bombing, and we always had a patrol boat around the ship at all times, in case of divers. But when we were in Da Nang, not really. More in '65 than we did '67, because by '67 the Camp Tinshaw was built. It was a little bit more military zone, not so much concern of the Viet Cong coming out. But we did have one assault landing up to Chu Lai, went up the river, and we mounted the 50 caliber machine guns on the top of the boat. We had our helmets on and full battle dress and hauled Marines up, but we didn't incur any hostile fire. But we were prepared, and there was a lot of concern with everybody. I mean, and the thing that we carry over at least twice 2 battalions of Marines, 1,500 Marines, and all their supplies and their jeeps and their trucks. And I met a lot of, and it took us 30 days from the time we left Long Beach to get over to Da Nang. So you got to know some of these Marines, and then I often wondered, of course, they were the real heroes, the guys, the boots on the ground. And you often wondered how many of them returned. So, and in my hometown, and where we were a town of about 30,000, and 6 of them were my schoolmates that were in the Army or the Marines that were killed in action in Vietnam from 1963 through 1969.